What the corn is going on? Heir of Carthage back in the end times. Someone suggested I do that. And speaking of suggestions, you all definitely felt like we should be using the Skaven for our purposes. So we will give them the non-aggression pact that they wish, and potentially build up a relationship with them, use them for our purposes, destroy them if needed. So I've got no problem with that. Thanks for the feedback. It is very helpful to me. Now, we can build up to the Chaos War Shrine at this point. We've got plenty of favor to do it, and once we get the War Shrine, we will unlock Sons of the Last Plague, which is a chosen with Halberds Regiment of Renown that comes in via the mod. We'll also have Reavers of the Night Faith, but we have to have a Reliquary of Chaos first before that unlocks. Let's remind myself. It's Reliquary of Chaos. Chaos War Shrine, Blasphemous Troll Lair, Proving Grounds. What? Where is it? Demonic Forge. Oh, right here. Got it. Got it. Missed it for a minute. Let's build our Chaos War Shrine. During the turn end, Fort Straghov. So we are very much surrounded by a lot of enemy troops. However, because of the superior composition of our army, I feel pretty confident that early game Empire troops, we're only on turn 19. It's unlikely that folks have much to match Chaos Warriors. Possible, but unlikely. So we'll be crushing the forces of Kislev. They'll be crying on their bearskin rugs when we're finished with them. So let's see here. I'd started the Withering. Penumbral Pendulum would actually be very handy, especially against these trash stacks of Kislev. We can recruit Chosen now, and quite honestly, with the amount of favor we have, we probably should. The worry that I have is if I stop, disband some units, Kislev is just going to attack me with both forces while I'm weaker. So I'm thinking what we do here, what Archaon would be happy with, is to gain even more favor by destroying. Then we can worry about getting some of our Chosen. So let's make the people of Fort Straghov realize the power of the true Ever-Chosen. Alright, before we start the battle, as soon as I got to the map, this is one of the Grand Campaign map mod maps. So this is the battle for Troll Country. What a cool map here. Look at the fortress here that Kislev has. It basically gives them a choke point to fight in. Now that's pretty cool, and sometimes when you're the defender, that's a good thing. However, this is going to allow me to funnel my Chosen and my Everwardens right into a ball of prey. So I will let you all see that as it happens. In the battle for Fort Straghov here in Troll Country, and this is a beautiful map, extremely well done by the Grand Campaign custom map mod crew. So whoever did this one, fantastic job. I'm going to be rushing my shielded and armored Chaos Warriors forward because there are quite a lot of crossbowmen. And my objective, I've spread all of them into a long, thin line, and they'll be able to bottle. You can see the deployment of the defenders of Fort Straghov in the deployment zone that I showed you previously. It is a bottleneck, and if I rush quickly, I can keep their forces from moving out and being able to position on the open battlefield. This will allow me to use my Chaos Warriors with great weapons to maximum effect, as well as bottling up large numbers of infantry in order for me to use the Penumbral Pendulum. My warriors with shields will easily withstand the volleys from these pistoliers. Will do very little to my troops. A little more than a tickle, that is. And on the flanks, you can see their crossbowmen and their troops attempting to get away and make room to maneuver. Not going to allow that to happen. I've got my warhounds and horsemen headed that way. Horsemen. You see my warriors here closing the gap. And we're going to follow up with the warriors with great weapons once my shielded warriors have engaged in melee. You can see the warhounds and other units going up the flanks. Over here, the warhounds and horsemen have caught their quarry. And we've started to bottle up a pretty significant amount of infantry here. So I see a good opportunity, and I will use the penumbral pendulum as those opportunities present themselves. You can see the Ever Wardens here on my right flank, and my Chosen are more towards the center. There's the first of what will definitely be several pendulums. You can see it just carved a swath right through the enemy. What a cool looking spell. I'm going to stay in cinematic mode for the bulk of this battle, so you all can see what's going on. The leader here, the general of Kislev, locates himself on this flank, and Archaon and Appius are going in for the kill. So they're going to move in here, go straight for that general, take him down. Got a Roman sorcerer of chaos and the Lord of the End Times here. The skirmishers are dying. Here comes yet another penumbral pendulum from Appius. His wrath knows no bounds, ripping through the already underpowered defenders who are being slaughtered by the mass army. The Ever Wardens look so good. Again, whoever designed that went in the mods. It's amazing what people can do with mods in this game. I suggest you try it. Let's zoom up, get you a feel for how the battle's going. The general has routed, and my infantry is tightening the noose. Here there was a small gap, and no escape. I'm going to fill that with Chaos Warriors. No escape. Let's check the kills on Appius real quick. Show you all what he's done. 106 kills so far. So he's doing a tremendous job. Whenever we get piercing bolts of burning on Archaon, he'll also be able to cause tremendous damage, as well as Flamestorm and Burning Head. Infantry blobs will know nothing but pain and suffering when facing this army, as they will have huge capability for dealing with that. The helpless fight of Kislev continues. I'm going to bring my Chaos Spawn in order to punch through to these crossbowmen that are a little bit further back up in the gap. I'm tired of them doing a little bit of damage with their crossbows against my unshielded warriors with great weapons. Out here you can see my dogs chasing down the horses. Gotta have food somehow. My men will have lots of horse meat tonight after all those outriders, and plenty of man flesh as well, if they so choose. Mystery man flesh. Man flesh meatloaf? Oh boy, it just gets worse. Y'all come up with some names there. Come up with some names. What kind of food they're gonna make out of Kislev. My Chaos Spawn are gonna just push on through. They did get slowed down because of the outriders, but shouldn't have any problem reaching these crossbowmen back here. Horrible pustules, tentacles, crab claws flailing everywhere. Yikes. Yikes. Oh man, I love Warhammer. Best Total War game ever. Hope you all are enjoying this campaign. If you are, keep making sure to leave your comments and tell me what kind of stuff we should be doing. I'll give you some more ideas of what I need your help with later. Let's jump back over the campaign map. Oh, what a destruction of our enemies. A proper destruction there. Dmitri and Arkady destroyed by the Ever-Chosen. Yeah, I mean, a choke point can be good when you're the defender if you have a way to defend it, but defending a choke point against Chosen with no magic or without the appropriate missile support is basically just bottling yourself up in your own coffin. That's exactly what happened to these poor chumps. As Archaon swoops in and takes down his first settlement of the realms of men. There we go. We're going to loot and raise. We want all that extra favor for recruiting our Chosen, which we'll have to start on the next turn, as we cannot enter an encampment. So during that turn, we completed a chapter objective, and it's because we raised or sacked 4 settlements. We completed some of the bonus objectives, so we got an additional 6,000 favor. We are riding high on favor, and we can now enter our encampment and start disbanding Chaos Warriors. And let's see how many we can recruit at a time. So let's head in first to our recruitment. Looks like we can recruit the Reavers of the Night Faith. Thought I said we couldn't. Alright, well, I'm quite alright with that because I want them. Reavers of the Night Faith are a standard chosen unit who have been given armor piercing. They have a silver shield, 120 armor, and they also, I believe, have the Tormentor sword. That's what it looks like to me. Let's pin them there. No, Cull the Weak. So it's a constant one around self. Affects allies in range, gives them fire damage. Incredible. The ward save is from Archaon. This is from some of the skill points, I believe, that we've put into Archaon. So in any case, yeah, that's the Reavers of the Night Faith. We will be getting them. We can recruit 5 units at a time. There's quite a few units from Kislev here, but I'm not terribly worried that they're going to attack us at this point in time. So I'm going to go ahead and disband 5 Chaos Warriors. This is... Ooh. We should still be good if we do this. Let's just mix up what we disband. I'm going to disband a couple with shields and a couple without, so that I still have a mixture of infantry. This is probably a bit riskier than I should be, but what can I say? I'm feeling quite overconfident at this point. We are going to want some anti-large at this point too. But let's start off with Reavers of the Night Faith and 2 Chosen, so that replaces the shielded units that we just disbanded. And we disbanded 1 warrior with great weapons, so let's replace, or it was 2 warriors with great weapons. That gets us back to 19. So apparently we were still missing 1 unit in this army, because that's all 5. So I should have only disbanded 4 then. That was also a mistake on my part. So yes, we've got that done. We will have Chosen in keeping with the theme of Archaon's army. One of the things that we need also is we need an exalted hero in this army, and we need to name that exalted hero Sextus. And also, people were saying that we should name some of the chosen units. Like, so I was thinking, the Everwardens are technically a Chaos Warrior with great weapons. We could replace them with Chosen, and we probably will at some point. They look like kind of a pretty unit. That might be a good one to put in Sigvald's army. Let's rename some of these units, like this original Chosen with great weapons. We'll rename them the Dawi Cleavers, for they cleaved many Dawi in 2 during that time. So we will rename them the Dawi Cleavers. As you all think of more names, let me know, but I think that one's a good remembrance of that. If we should name one of these units after that battle at Troll Country for defeating Kislev, which unit should we name and why? So you all leave comments, tell me what you want that name to be. So we now have 3 chosen with great weapons, 2 of the standard chosen. We're gonna boot these remaining forces here. Let's see, so I have 4 units with armor piercing. That'll make it 5. We've got plenty of units with armor piercing. I know this is kind of counterproductive because I just recruited this, but I do want plenty of shielded units as they come in very handy. I think we want 5 shielded units in total. Let's get rid of these. So I'm going to go back into recruitment. I have 3 shielded units. I need 2 more. And the reason I bring these shielded units is so that I have a front line that is pretty good at withstanding missile barrages as we approach enemies. I'm then going to also pick up a Sons of the Last Plague and a Chosen with Halberd, and that puts us 1 away from the total that I want. So I guess we did not need to... Okay. I just wanted to spend some of my favor, folks. I just wanted to spend some of my favor. Nice maths on my part. We've been approached by Galak Bloodgorge of the Ripperhorn tribe, who wishes for a non-aggression pact. Since they are also creatures of chaos, I'm okay with this for now. During the turn end, the Scheme of Doom is performed by the Skaven faction. None of my concern. The Scheme of Doom is my army, for it brings doom to all men. And right now, Fort Ostrosk is about to feel the pressure. We are going to apply it firmly. So let's see if this is a custom map. It is a custom map. Good, so it should be fun to play. There's a fair bit of defenders here, but it shouldn't be any problem. We're just going to need siege equipment. I'll bring a ram to destroy gates. Actually, we don't need that. Let's just focus on siege towers, and I'd like to bring a lot of them because we have a lot of infantry. It's going to take several turns of sieging. I'm going to work my way through getting this siege equipment ready. If anything important happens, obviously you'll know. We've completed the erection of ruinous monuments, so we can choose the next technology that we wish to seek after. With the amount of favor we have, I'm going to push on to Unholy Communion. I am losing a bit of favor each turn because of the enormity of the upkeep of my army, but that's not a problem, as we will gain it back from looting and raising. And now we get even more income from raising those settlements. Our Shadow Sorcerer has leveled up, and I'm going to put more into the Penumbral Pendulum. As you all saw in that last battle, it is quite effective, and increased armor piercing damage would not be a bad thing, and then eventually we will get a reduction in the Winds of Magic cost. So I'm going to focus on that for now. With the completion of the Unholy Communion tech, we got the first quest complete towards unlocking the legendary item, the Slayer of Kings. And we also picked up 1500 favor. The next one is to move a character to Bersornling's camp, which is basically going to be the same, spoiler alert, on every quest item for Archaon, and pretty much for the others as well. So eventually we'll just kind of recruit a character who specializes in sitting there. Anyway, nothing else of interest happened during the turn end. We're continuing to get our siege equipment ready. We can gain even more loot from post-battle, and I'm going to focus on that early. After one of the turn ends, we received an exalted hero for Archaon's army. That's going to be quite the score, actually. The question is, what unit do I remove to insert it? I certainly don't want to remove any of my shielded, armored warriors. So I think at this point, my most disposable unit is just going to be a Marauder Horseman. I'll remove the Marauder Horseman and get the exalted hero in to begin training our troops and fight with the Ever-Chosen. One more turn. We're now ready for the siege of Fort Ostrosk. We've got a significant amount of equipment. Let's get to it. The Battle of Fort Ostrosk is underway. The siege towers moving forward to the walls. Again, another beautiful job done by the Grand Campaign map mod team. Let's go take a look at the forces of Kislev arrayed to defend their walls. On this side, we've got some swordsmen. They'll be facing off against Chosen with great weapons. And then the defenders on these walls will be facing the remainder of my Chosen, along with the Reavers of the Night Faith. So, yes, they're going to have their hands full, absolutely full. You can see there's a lot of defenders backing the gates here. There's defenders in the main square holding it. It's going to be Outriders and Empire Knights. And then on the far walls over here, there's a few more defenders that will be over this way that you don't see this exact moment. Let's watch as the towers reach the walls and unload the Chosen within to reap their destruction on the defenders. No doubt these folks from Kislev will be defecating and wetting themselves repeatedly. during the course of this. I mean, if you were defending a wall and that's what came out, tell me what you're thinking. If you have any comments on that one, leave your comments. If you're the one defending the wall and you're sitting there, defend these walls against whatever comes out, and this is what you see. Oh boy. You're going to be more than a little scared at that point. You're going to be more than a little scared. Look at the defenders here. Some of them actually rally out of the gate. This is, again, the AI just not really good at using these siege maps. The pathfinding's a little bit off. A downside, but not a reason to stop doing it. Check out these beautiful units. The Reavers of the Night Faith. What a sweet-looking unit. We'll check out our other one, too. As for the units coming out of the gates, I've got Archaon, and we're going to have this exalted hero will be Sextus. He hasn't been renamed yet. I just forgot to do it. But we'll rename that one Sextus. Here comes our Chosen with halberds. And then right behind them we have the Sons of the Last Blade. Check that out. Another extremely sweet unit model done by the makers of the mod. Poison, anti-large, armor piercing, just absolutely brutal. See here my warriors with great weapons having no problem clearing out the walls. And I'm just tying down all of the crossbowmen so there's no cheap shots from Kislev. So my Chaos Warriors pushing forward onto the walls. The Reavers of the Night Faith here are going to come down from the walls and engage the enemies below. We've already got some Chosen down here doing the same. So they're going to come down here and start to work their way around this flank and start to create a little delicious blob of man meat over here. I know there'll be comments about that. Are you not entertained, folks? Are you not entertained? Here it is. It's like turn 27. And Air has unleashed an army of Chosen on Kislev. And already their forces are reeling under the immense pressure that it's putting on them. Their capital will be exposed if Fort Ostrosk falls. We'll have a clear march to the city of Kislev. The inhabitants of Fort Ostrosk should be fleeing for their lives at this point. Fleeing as fast as they can flee. Man, they did such a good job with this map. I love it. Continually, the AI is running troops out of the gate, and they're running them right into a funnel of Chaos Spawn and Chosen with halberds. Not going to be a good time for them in here. They're getting absolutely shredded by these heavy troops. A few crossbowmen are getting shots. I'll be putting an end to that real quick as I'm going to repurpose these Chosen to go ahead and go further up the walls and attack those so we can capture the gates and move my my warhounds and my horsemen in. Over here, as my forces start to come down from the walls, the defenders for Kislev start to fall back to another position. As they are defeated, they're being chased. You see here, I actually brought in a pendulum that bounced off the wall. Caused a pretty good amount of damage here. Some of those spells do bounce off of walls. That was one of them. So the pendulum actually bounced back and kind of went through my own men a little bit over here, but didn't cause a lot of damage. It was not an overcast variant. Look at Archaon cutting his way through the gates. Once again, just imagine, defend these gates, no matter what comes through, or not. Or run. Flee for your lives. So Archaon and his spawn will definitely cut their way through these halberds and spearmen. It is only a matter of time at this point, and it won't be a long time. Some more of my forces come down from the wall, and they're going to move over here. At this point, oh man, the Everwardens came down from the wall here and got charged by a unit of Empire Knights. Actually took a pretty decent bit of damage. They'll be able to turn that fight around because of their armor-piercing weapons, and I've got reinforcements headed their way, so I'll let you all see this sweet action here. The only not chosen unit in my infantry corps, but they're basically chosen because of their stats, and they look awesome, so I wanted to keep them here for now at least. So here comes the warriors with the great weapons, and the chosen, moving in for the kill. Then back here. Here comes another pendulum. That one bounced off the wall and came straight back, dealing double the damage to the Empire troops. So massive damage done to the Empire, and a quick 70 kills for Appius, who has quickly put his pendulum to use against the would-be foes of chaos, the pathetic defenders of this world. Their world has already fallen, they just don't know it. We're going to go show them how far it's fallen. Some more Empire Knights valiantly defending their town. I'll just give you a quick overhead view so you can see what's left of the defenders. They're pistoliers and crossbowmen still defending the middle. Over here I've had 2 units chase these cowardly defenders who will be murdered on the walls, these spearmen who are attempting to reinforce them. And at this point, the gates are now under our control, and I can bring my hounds and horsemen to bear against any of their skirmishers who may attempt to flee and shoot as they flee. The spearmen defending over here have fallen. More Empire Knights that have regrouped. Everything they can do to try and hold my forces back from the town square at this point. But it's only a matter of time. They do manage to deal a little bit of damage with their crossbows. Like I said, they are delaying the inevitable at this point. More of their reinforcements fall out from the town center, working their way back to stop me. There's Empire Knights desperately fighting. They're now going to be backed up by halberds. But the gates are open, and the forces of chaos continue to pile in through the gates. You can see the warhounds and the horsemen just compounding the already massive problem that exists here for these defenders. This map really does look spectacular. Let's get another view of it from back over here. Let you all catch the battle here from the top of the spire up in the fort. Woo! Go through it. Oh yeah. Top of the world, folks. Top of the world. I'll turn the banners on here so you can kind of see the status of the Empire forces. Chased them up onto the wall over here, easily defeating those defenders. Their general is routing. The men that I sent around the flank have arrived and begun to pressure the reinforcing troops in the town center. They're no longer safe back here. And my warhounds are coming through the small village here in the city, along with the horsemen, and they're connecting with the crossbowmen, who now don't even have a chance to fire. So the final moments of the battle are on, and the forces of Kislev will no doubt flee en masse any moment here, as they have been thoroughly broken by the Chosen of Archaon as he works his way into the city streets. Man, does this look good. Decisive victory indeed. Decisive victory. A crushing defeat for Dmitry Zaryov and his forces of Kislev. No match for the Chosen of the Ever-Chosen. This is why we do the themes, people. Archaon loves Chosen. His skill tree says it. He's showing it off here, and these guys aren't even fully upgraded yet. And you can see the kind of damage they can do as we've made the right steps to get Chosen this early in the campaign and leave our enemies with nothing but crushing defeats and looting everything that they owned. Archaon just picked up a 15% ward save as well, which will make him incredibly tanky, even more so than he already is, and he'll get much tankier over the course of this campaign. He does have a skill point. We'll want to eventually spend it up here on the Chosen ones. We can get more physical resistance and melee defense for our Chosen units. We will certainly do that. As for now, I believe the right thing to do is to put this Blessed by Chaos and get the final point here to increase the weapon strength and melee defense of our Chosen units. So that's now completed. Fort Ostrosk has fallen, and Kislev's heart is now ready to be plucked right out of its chest. We've got them right where we want them. With the fall of Fort Ostrosk, we're ready to move on, and we will go ahead and I think just go straight for the capital city before someone beats us to our prize. As we walk along, we'll make use of this camp stance to help buff our growth. I do believe we've got enough population surplus. Oh, not quite. We need 6, which we will get at the end of this turn, to build our Planikin of trophies, and then our light Chaos Warhounds and our Marauder Horsemen will be replaced with the Knights of Chaos, and soon thereafter we'll have access to Chaos Knights with lances, and then the Crimson Rampage, which is going to be a really, really cool unit. I'm going to make sure that we got all of the regiments of renown that we can for now. I believe we have. Yes, we have. Good stuff. The Sword of Cain has been claimed. I can only hope that they hold on to it long enough, because eventually, when my forces visit Ulthuan, if someone has claimed it, they will lose it. You can't take it from the shrine yourself, but I do believe that if we slay the Lord wielding it, it can be ours. And just imagine Archaon already chosen by the Chaos Gods, and then with the Sword of Cain in his hand. The amount of destruction would be tremendous, and the entertainment would be fantastic. So I will make it my objective, if possible, that we get a hold of that sword. We only need 5% of our movement points to camp, so let's move up close to the bridge. And I'm going to go ahead and hit the encampment. We now have the ability to build our Planikin of trophies. And with that, we'll have Chaos Knights. So that makes a good ending point for this episode. Probably not quite as long as some of the other episodes. But we made some big progress, defeated 2 massive armies of Kislev. And their capital is now ripe for destruction. And as Kislev falls, we'll be able to properly focus back on getting the Norscan factions to submit properly. So we will be well armed and ready to take them on, regardless of whether they've already broken out their mammoth chariots, Famir warriors, whatever they can throw at us. But look at this, 30 turns in, and we're rocking the most elite infantry in the game. Hope you all are enjoying it. Make sure to stick around. Leave me your comments. I need to know what you want to see next in the campaign. As we've cleaned up Kislev, my objective is to fill out Archaon's army with the knights, so that he now has his thematic knights and chosen army. We will then double back to Norska. As we go through Norska, we will have to awaken 3 more tribes, which will allow us to recruit Sigvald. Help me think of Sigvald's army and what Sigvald's objectives are. I've heard some people say that he should go attack the elves because he's jealous of their looks. That actually sounds pretty darn fun. So help me think through that. What kind of army should he have? You know, how should he go fight these elves? Eventually, when we get Kolek, what should Kolek do? So let's think through that. I need your comments. If you want to see more, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you get notified. If you liked this episode, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button so that this will trend and other people can find it. We can bring more people in on the fun. You all seem to really be enjoying it. I love making it. It's great. If you didn't like it, I'm sorry. Tell me what I need to do better, and I will try and do it for you. Thank you. HeirofCarthage, signing out.